Horse coming at it. Bowler over on the far side. Bowler just in front. Rockin' Horse is in for the fight. Bowler and Rockin' Horse, they hit it. Bowler.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop. It is episode 256 and is proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group and PlayUp. Today we're going to preview our 8 runners at the Queensland Cup Raceday at Eagle Farm on Saturday. Morning, Tony. The stables have been going really well at Eagle Farm of late with another 2 winners last Saturday in Dramatica and Zarastro.
Yeah, we're going really good here. The track's racing beautifully. I think I mentioned in the last week's preview just how consistent now it is. It's holding a bit of moisture, which is a good thing. There's a little bit of showers around this weekend, so you're not working on that really firm surface that we were seeing, a year or so back now. So it's a nice track horse to race on. They're racing well on and they're pulling up well. There's bugger all bias. Some weeks we see the jockeys wanting to get off fence and they're getting back on there late and yada yada. It's mostly horses just getting the right run based on tempo now, so the track's racing beautifully. Yeah,
and we walked across it on Tuesday to go look at the gallops and it's just got a beautiful cover of grass.
Yeah, it's got a really good cover of grass on it. You can tell it's a nice spring grass track. There's just beautiful cover on it. Horses have been working out in that course proper, Claire, as you know. The last couple of weeks while our A-grass has been getting renovated, we've been getting access to that course proper and they're working well on it, they're pulling up well off it.
Okay. The highlight last weekend, though, you think, would have to be the win of Antino in the Group 3 Sandown Stakes?
Yeah, certainly. Look, it was probably relief more than anything else. So it was probably a highlight in that regard. It was good to see him get the job done down there. He was an exceptionally short price in the market and delivered accordingly, really. It wasn't a big win margin-wise, but it's typical of what his wins can be. So when it's time to put his neck out and head down and have a go, he does that well, the horse. He really finds a way to win. He was good. I don't know whether he was he was a highlight, obviously, winning that race down there, but I really was happy with the win of Dramatica last week. Zarastro's flying, as we know. He's just continuing to go well, and he was the expected winner too, his odds-on favourite, similar to, not as short as Antino, but still short. But I thought Dramatica's win was really good for a mare that's had such a long prep, knocking on the door, finally drew the good gate, got the right run, she won well. So for me, she was probably one that I was tickle pink for that ownership group who just let you hang in with her, never get involved with you, let you just do what you want, and for her to win a Saturday race, I thought it was terrific.
Just a quick update now on the plans for Skirt the Law and Zoo Style after their runs at Moonee Valley on Friday.
Yeah, both felt the ground a fair bit there, really. More so Skirt the Law. She's just not coping at all with the really firm good threes down there. So they're both on their way home. They'll be probably pulling into Sydney by now, having the day there, then back to Queensland tomorrow, where they'll have a little bit of time off before you see them here in the summer. Be good to get them home, get them back into this environment and see their form go back to where it should be.
Okay. On to Saturday's Big 10 race card at Eagle Farm with our 8 runners to preview. The rail will be in the 6 metre position. The track is currently a good 4 with fine days ahead. Do you expect any difference in the racing patterns with the 2 metre rail shift from last week?
No, I don't. I expect it just to be horses get the right run based on tempo.
Okay. We'll start with race 1, which is the No Metro Wins Handicap over the 1,000 metres. Warrioress will run in this. 53 kilos Ben Thompson rides. She's drawn barrier 3. With PlayUp, she's paying $11 to win and $4.40 for the place. It was a close second first up at this track and trip before making no impression last start when she was caught wide at the Sunshine Coast. Blinkers go on first time.
Yeah, I was still a bit disappointed the other day at the Sunshine Coast. She did pull both front shoes off, I think, up there, so she's not the world's best footed horse, unfortunately. I've put the blinkers on just to try and get some more consistency out of her, just keep her focused, and I worked with them on Tuesday morning on the course proper, and I was really happy with what I saw. Her recovery was great in them, so we've given them a go. It's a 50-50 call for me, the blinkers. On her best form, she can run well, and she's over the odds. But there's always a big disparity between her best and her worst. She just lacks that consistent performance, which is what we try and strive for. She just seems to lack that for one reason or another.
Okay. Move on to race 3 now, which is the benchmark 68 handicap over 1,200 metres. Standing order runs 59.5 kilos. Jimmy Ormond will take the ride. He's drawn barrier 7. With PlayUp, he's paying $4 to win and $1.60 for the place. He's first up for the preparation, coming off a nice trial last week. Did win convincingly first up for our stable last preparation.
Yeah, he's had 2 jump outs or trials. Last time we got him mid-prep. This time we've had him from scratch. I'm really happy with the way that the horse is going. He's come back a nice, bigger, stronger horse this time round, and he's just doing everything right in his work, which I'm pleased with. So he's going to get a lovely run here. He'll lob somewhere in the first 4. He's stepping away from the gates really well now, just putting himself in a spot, and he's a very happy horse. So although often you think he can take a run, I think he's pretty up to the mark fresh up, and he's had 2,000 metre jump outs or trials.
Okay.
He's quite forward and ready to go.
Okay, next race is race 5, which is the benchmark 80 handicap over the 1830 metres. We have 2 runners in this. We'll start with 5th position. He'll carry 60 kilos with Ben Thompson riding. Barrier 1, he is paying $5 to win and $1.90 for the place with PlayUp. He has improved from his first up run with us for a very close second last start at this track and trip. He does drop slightly in grade and should get another good run in transit.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going super, this horse. He's improved.
Oh, it looks way better.
Physically, he's really improved. He's going through his gears well in his work. He's a very fit horse. He obviously come very fit. But he's really bright and well now. So I'm really happy with him. Low draw is important to him with that big weight. He's going to get a very soft run just behind speed. I wouldn't think he's too far back, actually. Probably just on the back of them. There's not a whole great lot of pace in this. Get a really soft run on the fence and then be there, Johnny on the spot to pound. So I think he's very well placed. I wouldn't worry about the 60. He's probably earned that in this grade, and I think there's no reason he wouldn't carry it. I think he looks really well placed.
Second runner we have is Kronenbourg, who's our friend today, kind of. He is going to carry 59 kilos with Jimmy Orman on board, barrier 9. He is paying $2.80 to win with PlayUp and $1.35 for the place. He's won 4 of his last 5 races from 1500 to 1650. You've stepped him up here in the same grade as his last start win. Yeah,
and that worries me a little bit, the 1800. I was tossing and turning which way to go. What made me decide to run here is the fact that he ran in a very solidly run Toowoomba mile the other day.
Yep.
Obviously it's uphill, so it's a tough mile, up and downhill, but there's a lot of uphill climb at the back on that track. So they went along at a really good gallop, and he was good at the end of that tough mile. So you'd imagine back on the flat ground here of Eagle Farm, the 1800 should be okay for him.
Yep.
This race certainly shapes up differently to the race he was in at Toowoomba. He got back 3rd pair there on a very solid tempo.
Yep.
Here this race lacks speed, so I dare say he goes back to his pattern where he just rolls up on speed. So I think he sits outside lead here. He'll get a comfortable enough time of it. Then it's just a matter of whether he runs the 1800 metres. So he's a tough horse. He's a funny horse. They get to him and you think that he's just about spent. Then he always finds a kick. Orman gets on awfully well with the horse. He knows him particularly well. So he's certainly the horse they've all got to beat, because I think he's going to sit on speed. I'd imagine he'll put paid to the horse inside of him, which looks like likely the leader is Manazi. I'd say he's stronger than him. Then it's just a matter whether he can hold off a horse like 5th position, etc., coming from behind him, a Holstein. So I think he's going really, really well. Am I a touch nervous at the 1800? Maybe a little. But whether I should be or not remains to be seen. So both horses are going good. Not going to put one on top of the other. I know one runs the trip. One, the jury's out a little bit for me, but they're both in good form. This horse here is in amazing form. He's won 4 of his last 5 with a second, so that just sort of tells you the form he's in.
Okay. Race 6 is the benchmark 75 handicap over 1200 metres. Daytona runs 57 kilos. Jimmy Orman in the saddle, drawn barrier 10 with PlayUp. He's paying $4.40 to win and $1.85 for the place. Not disgraced first up for 3rd over 1200, taking a 3-wide run around Doomben. We'll need some luck from the barrier, but he does have some ability.
Yeah, the rail was out that day too. There's certainly no advantage covering ground on that circumference, and it was certainly my error, and I followed the jockey that day. We just felt the race would map differently. It didn't. We got caught right on a limb. I accepted in 2 races Saturday thinking the barriers would help me decide. Well, that didn't work out. He drew pretty well awful in both. So trickier from a wide draw. I just felt probably Orman on. He can just ride the race how it presents for him. He's a pretty versatile horse. He can just come from off them, or he can be right there. So I don't know where we map. I think we map a little bit tricky in the race. He is going really well. He's had a good bit of time. It's about 3.5 weeks since that last run, something like that. So he's had a good bit of time to get over it. He's very fit, very well. He still ran really well. He's good sectionals late, even off that wide run the other day at Doomben. So he's fit. This track and trip, no issue at all for him. It's just where we get in the run is my only worry, but he's going particularly well.
Okay, race 7 is the Class 3 plate, run over 1500 metres. We will have Sunset Soiree in this. She'll carry 57 kilos. Jimmy Orman rides her. She'll jump from barrier 7 with PlayUp. She is paying $7 to win and $2.50 for the place. On the 1 week back up, after giving them too much start last week at this track and distance, but finished like a train. Better barrier in what will be another big field. Yeah,
she was good late without being punished either. She wasn't sort of flashing like, get on me next up, but if you watch her run last week, it was pretty good. She was getting home when it was all over, had far too much work to do where she was.
Yeah.
It was actually quite messy for her early last week. She was getting bumped around a bit too. It was just It just was no good. This is a lot better from where we're drawn. I expect to be no worse than midfield here, so we 4 or 5 lengths closer in the run, being able to pounce. I don't mind her on the back up. She's done well all week in the feed bin. Okay. No issues there with her whatsoever. So 7-day back up, fine for me. Okay. Just a touch more positive ride from a better gate. Yep. Sees us in a better position, after we've gone 100 metres. So if that's the case, then she's right in this.
Race 9 is the Class 6 handicap over 1400 metres. We have 2 runners in this. Briar's Kingdom, he'll carry 56 kilos with Angela Jones on board. Barrier 7, he is paying with PlayUp $14 to win and $3.80 for the place. He was held up at an important time last start at Toowoomba and lost a bit of momentum. He does like the 1400 metres and has won twice when third up. Yeah,
absolutely was the other day. He was actually quite a hidden good run. Yeah. Toowoomba's a real momentum track too. You've got to just be rolling into that corner and getting a clear run then through the line, which he didn't get. No fault of CJ. She put him in the right position. She travelled in nice, then just got completely squashed out. So here he looks to get a nice run. Ange knows him particularly well. He drops down to a nice weight for this grade. He'll lob just behind what looks to be, there's 2 clear leaders in the race that go forward. He should be in that second pair. So he's somewhere 3rd, 4th, 5th in the run, getting a nice smooth run. We know he loves Eagle Farm, he loves 1400. So he's a big improver. He's actually over the odds at $14. So I thought he should have been right in the finish the other day. Had he been, he wouldn't be $14 here. No. So he can improve, he can certainly improve a lot into this race.
Second runner we have a Star of Chaos. She'll carry 54 kilos. Ben Thompson will ride her. Barrier 12. She's paying $3.50 to win and $1.50 for the place with PlayUp. She did win 2 in a row before being run over at the furlong in the last start over 1500 metres. She's dropped back to the 1400. Bit of a tricky draw, but not huge pace.
Yeah, she should roll across. There's one other I think that will boot up underneath. We're either outside lead or lead. She's quite quick in the stride. Yeah. Anne's just got the tempo wrong the other day. She went out a little bit too quick down the back and just left herself a sitting shot late. To hang on for third, it was a pretty good effort. Yeah. With a more controlled gallop, she'll be thereabouts. She's trained on beautifully. She's in good order. 7 furlong Eagle Farm's perfect for her. The wide draw doesn't worry me. She's a go forward horse. So she's either going to lead or be second. Going to get a comfortable run, and she's still fit and well. And I don't think she's improved, but she's as good as what she was her last 2 starts, and that's good enough for me.
How are you going to split the 2 of them?
I think she's a hard to beat Star of Chaos in the race. I think she's a really nice mare. Nothing wrong with the way Briar's Kingdom's going. Yeah. But he was coming through last preparation, those midweek races. He's got those low grade benchmarks. He's at his grade now. Yeah. So he'll get his race, whether it's this one or it's the next one or whatever. Yeah. But she's a nice mare, probably destined for a bit better.
Okay. We are into the final furlong of this week's Final Gallop. Who do you think your best winning chances at Eagle Farm on Saturday?
I'll go with Star of Chaos in the last. I think she's a good, honest, consistent mare, still going super for mine, so I'll go with her.
Okay, your best each way chance?
I think just at the price, I'm a bit sticky for each way sort of price. The Sunset Soiree sort of $7. No reason she wouldn't run top 3, but 5th position, I think he's about $5. Was he in the market?
I think so.
So we can probably call that each way. I think he's just maps to get a beautiful run. So that doesn't mean that he can beat the favourite, but it just means I just can't see him being out of the top 3. Okay. So at $5, I guess you could call him each way, and you know he's going to be good at 1800.
Okay. Your best at the provincials, we've got Sunshine Coast Friday and Toowoomba on Saturday night.
Toowoomba Saturday night. Porky's for me.
Porky, the
up to Toowoomba. Well, the form around him's great. He was a really good run in the Sunset Soiree race in Brisbane. Then he went to the Sunshine Coast the other day, and it was just an absolute mess of a race. He goes to the mile now on the turning track. Ian Allen on board. He's in great form, Anthony Allen. I must admit, he's here every day working. He's in great form, and I think he'll do an awesome job when him up to Toowoomba. So Porky, Toowoomba, Saturday night.
Okay, your best track worker this week?
Track worker this week, like I said, we've been access to this course proper the last few weeks here, so the horses are loving it. They're working really well. Warrior S was great with the blinkers on out there, but I was super happy with this horse here. Kronenbourg. He's a bit of a trickier one. He did solo work out there over 5 furlong on Tuesday, and I thought he was brilliant as well. So all these horses have worked really well on that course prop. Everything we've accepted with to run this weekend that's in town has worked on the course proper, and they've all worked well, and their recoveries have been very good.
Okay, your performance from the stable for the week?
I mentioned it before, tossing up between a few of them, but I'm going to go with Dramatica. Just for how consistent and tough she's been this prep. It's easy to say Zarastro and Antino because they're both really good horses that are going to different levels than where Dramatica's going. Yep. But sometimes it's just good to get that Saturday win sometimes out of a horse that looked as though it might be an unlikely candidate to do so. And I think that's terrific. And she can have a little break now and come back. And I think placed right out of Carnival, she can win again in town.
Okay. Now, courtesy of PlayUp, it is the stable special offer, and this week they have offered $3 for Star of Chaos to finish top 2. That sounds like a pretty good deal.
Love it. What was last week's one?
Oh, Skirt
the Law.
They got the money. So let's just get them back this week.
Load up.
I couldn't have seen that happening until Moonee Valley went to a good 3 very, very, very early, which had me nervous. But this does not have me nervous in any way, shape or form. Okay. She's going to bounce up on speed. She's the one they got to get past with a lightweight and a good jock. So
load up.
I don't know about load up. You can only have $50 on, I think, but take it. Get their money back. Get the money back off them from last week.
Okay. Now it is time for Cav's Corner, which is supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. Back to the winners list last week with his multi Kimi Zabi into Antino. Let's find out what we've got to put our hard-earned on for this week.
Welcome to Cav's Corner for this week. We had a little bit of joy last week, but this week we'll go to Eagle Farm. We'll go 5th position, a win, into Sunset Soiree, a win. Good punting, guys.
So he's gone 5th position, a win, into Sunset Soiree, a win.
Wow. Wow. There you go. Jeez.
Completely away from you.
Kronenbourg, that's what he thinks of Cavs.
Yeah.
That's what he thinks of Cavs mould. He's just turned his freckle to it. So he's not thrilled at all.
Well, he actually probably is, because he doesn't have any pressure on him
No pressure,
anymore.
actually. He'll start bucking and pig reading in here in a minute. So no, that's I don't know about the win-win there, but look, both horses are very, very fit and they found their right races.
Okay. Good luck on Saturday, Tony, at Eagle Farm, and then on to the Queensland Thoroughbred Awards on Sunday night.
Yeah, it'll be a bit of fun Sunday night. It's always a good night. You know, we're in the running for a couple of awards. We obviously know we get the Metropolitan Trainers Award, and then we're in the running for Trainer of the Year Award, which, you know, if we win it, I get to stand up there and thank all you people that make my job what it is. And then also Skirt the Law's in the running for 2-year-old of the year, and she's in the running for Horse of the Year. I don't know if she'll get Horse of the Year, but she's certainly a good chance of 2-year-old of the year. So it's going to be a good fun night.
Yes.
We'll get there and enjoy ourselves with a few clients and friends, and enjoy what has been last season, which seems an eternity ago now, Claire. We get to enjoy, you know, some of the wins from last season.
Okay, well, best of luck for Sunday night, and best of luck to everyone on the weekend as well.